Hello there, YouTube. Camera on the head, mic on the face. Yeah, we're doing another video. Welcome to Virginia Handyman. Uh, Today, we're installing the Nautilus chair lift on my mother's stairway. The stairs are 12 foot long. You have to initialize this stuff. You have to follow strict instructions in the ordering. Once you order this item, it cannot be returned because it's custom made for each individual set of stairways. It comes in as Hamar, but the company is actually Nautilus. Um, make sure when you get it to sit down and read through the instructions. Take a little time, sit down and go through them. Look at all the little brochures. There's several. This is the wiring harness, wiring diagram. You have your owner's manual, which I didn't read the owner's manual yet, but I need to install it first. This little sheet came in the box with the rail. Um, it has a couple of things on it, and we'll go over that. This is my first time installing one. I've never installed one before, so this is a learning experience for me as well as it is for you. But hopefully if I make mistakes, you won't. That's what I'm here for. All right. Start off. You have, I'm going to grab the other camera here and I'm going to show you. But you have a set of rails. This is a nice system. It's a worm drive system. It is not a rack and pinion. If you have a rack and pinion system, you will have grease. And if you have grease, I've got carpet. Mom's got carpet. If you have grease anywhere, you know yourself, it's going to get on your carpet. This is a little bit more expensive. It's a premium chair. It's a third more expensive, and I will admit that. But in my opinion, it's not quite a third, but in my opinion, it's worth it to get the uh, worm drive along with this. This company gives you a lifetime guarantee on the motor and the control board. And um, I will tell you this: I don't think it was actually this company's president that called me. I think it was the distributor. I think maybe he sets these rails up and everything for each individual order. But the gentleman that apparently I ordered from, I think it's um, Jameson Medical. The president of the company called me the other day, gave me his phone number, told me to call him 24/7 if I've got any questions. But the reason he called was to give me some pointers, some tips on what to do, what not to do. And of course, I forgot three-quarters of what he told me, but I think I grasped the general gist of the whole ordeal. If you've seen any of my other videos, I do all kinds of handyman work. So this is going to be a new experience. Like I say, I've never done one, but I think I've got it figured out. Um, I'm going to grab the small camera and we'll go over this rail here. I've already assembled the rail. I got over here last night and I did not know the chair was coming in yesterday, and I decided to go ahead. I had my tools already here. I was thinking that this was already in and it was a different product that come in for my mom. And I came over and looked and I was like, no, that's not your stair chair, but we're going to try to get this video together and get it cut down. I know I'm rambling, but here we go. Let's show you the rail. And I'll show you in the instruction book how this thing goes together. Let's get here. This is on page 8. If you look here, you see how you got little ears that you install into this rail. And I'm going to show you with the other camera, you have a cable that you will run down into this rail. This unit does run on battery, so power outages are not a thing. You don't have to worry about being downstairs, power goes off and not being able to get back upstairs. It runs on battery. Right now I have this rail turned upside down. I'm going to turn it back over on its side because as you see, I've already got the brackets on the rail. This rail was a little difficult to go together, and I'll show you what I did. But let's turn it up on its side. About turned that camera over. If you look here, and this is what I was telling you about the cable. This will come in a separate, it will come packed on the side of this rail. When you get these rails, they will be plastic wrapped, the shrink wrap on the end of the rail, and it will tell you bottom rail and top rail on that shrink wrap. I didn't see it until I unpacked it, but let's continue on. If you notice, here's your rack, here's your worm gear. Nice nylon worm gear. They tell you to take 2 sections out before you put the motor section on. Otherwise, it will damage the motor section. I've already removed those. Let's see if I can set this thing up on these brackets. Hold on, I'm going to set the camera down a minute. Let's see here. See if she'll set up for me. Everything but the end did. Anyway, she's setting up on the brackets, kind of. All right, this was the bottom piece. It's already got the cap installed. You'll have a cable connection down here. That will be for your power, to power your battery charger. Now, if you look, also there's another set of strips down here. You see these little strips? What those are for is when your chair is sitting there, whether it be at the top or the bottom of your rail, that's your charge circuit that charges your battery. All right, one thing about these strips, when you put this thing together, you will have to feed this wire through this channel. Make sure when you put it back together down there that you do not pinch that wire. You have a connection down there that you will put together. And if you see what I'm doing here, see I kind of pulled some slack out. Kind of just coil that slack up in that frame just like that and keep it pushed back. Now, I went to put this rail together. I got her about this far apart from each other. She would not go together by hand. I had it on a stairway. I was trying to operate and put it together on a stairway. First of all, do not do that. If you have some help, put this thing back on a flat floor. If you noticed, I let it slide up against the entertainment center there. I got me a little tappet wrench. Yeah, that's a tappet wrench. Otherwise known as a ball peen, but I call it a tappet wrench. All right. block of wood. Take this note and take it well. If you look here, you've already got your strip. You already had to install your strips. So when you're knocking that in, you make sure you put that block above those wires. Do not put it right here. You're going to mess those wires up. Put that block right there. It took one little tap once I got it down on the floor and got it level to get it together. You've got 4 hex screws on each side of the frame that you will put in. You will need a metric and a standard. I bought these little sets right here. I am a Harbor Freight fanatic. I will buy a tool at the drop of a hat. So this is your metric and your standards. You'll need a variety of tools here, but that apparently is something that you definitely need, and you will definitely, if you like me, use it at some other point again, so it's worth the purchase. All right, let's see if we can get you set back up here. All right. Once you get that chair rail in, I'm going to go over to the GoPro. Let me put this away. I'm going to flip this thing back up. Hopefully I can flip it up without knocking the camera over. All right. You see you have 4 brackets here. They come tall or short depending on your stairs. Like I say, you will have a specific set of instructions when you order this thing as to what you measure. You'll measure from the bottom floor to that top rail up there, the top step. They will ask you if you have a certain amount of play or a certain amount of space. If you have a landing up there, you'll have a different type of rail set up. Normally you'll have the shorter brackets. I do not have a landing, so these are the long brackets. We're going back over to the GoPro. When you put these on, I didn't do it. I'm going to give you a little hint. Put these here before you put this rail together. Slide these on. That way you don't have to slide it all the way from up there to all the way down there. You only have to slide from here down to there. Wasn't that big of a deal. They slide fairly freely. You just have to jiggle and wiggle. But we're going to try to get this back up there. Probably do a little cutaway until I get this set back on the stairs, and we'll come back to you. Oh, one other little note before we cut away. Build this thing in the middle of the steps. That's one of the things that the Vice President told me. He said, don't try to build it against the wall one way or the other. And let me get back to one other thing I forgot to cover. I was talking about these charge strips. This little piece of paper right here. Pay particular attention to the little sheets. You'll get a couple little sheets. I did. You'll get a couple little sheets of paper in your boxes. Make sure that you look at those and you read those. If you read that, I don't know if you can read it. I hope you can. But it says the red wire on the charge strips must go to the right-hand side as you look up from the bottom, or the charger will not charge. The black wire must go to the left as you look up from the bottom, or the charger will not charge the batteries. The green light means there's power to the charger only and not charging the batteries. So I'm looking up these stairs. this way, the red wire must go on the right hand side. It's going to go against the wall. Now, one other thing that while we're looking here, if you notice, I have an offset on my wall. We will make sure that we cover that as we get down here to the bottom of these stairs, and we'll show you about that offset and make sure that we get that when we set this in. All right, I'm going to get this paperwork out of the way. We're going to get this rail back up here. I'm fairly abled, so I can pretty much do this by myself, but if you've got help, it's always a good thing. And especially since I got cameras all in the way. See if I can do this without knocking the camera down. Yeah, alrighty. Alright, I have a piece of plywood here. We're going to set that up under this rail, because you want that rail a ½ inch off that floor. I do believe I need to send this thing up some more. I know I need to move this up. Oh, if you look at these brackets while I'm looking down, you see here, it says this side toward wall. So that, I was sitting there trying to figure out last night which way I was supposed to put the brackets in. And I turned it over and I went, oh, well, there's the answer. So, let's see what we got here. We're actually looking pretty good right there. This bracket, back this away just a little bit. I think I can bring him up just a fuzz. Now these center brackets, we're gonna place them, but they're not so particularly important at this point. But one thing I do want to cover, and I'll show you here in a second. All right, one thing I do need to cover. These brackets are supposed to go either side of this joint to where they are setting and supporting this joint. Let me see where my setting is now, and I'm going to reference the book here for a minute. I'm about probably a ½ inch off the floor. One thing that it did say is to make sure, I had bought some blocks over, but I ain't gonna need them. Make sure that you have 2 inches clearance in between the step and the rail. If you do not have that clearance, it will not run that chair. So I'm going to reference the book a little bit. That's what it's for. See, it says here, the underside of, all right, remember I said I had an obstruction with that wall setting out. Measure any obstruction from the wall. May include handrails, molding, lights, switches, etc. And adjust the edge of the braces, the brackets, equal distance from the wall. The minimum distance will be 1 inch from the wall or any other obstruction. So I've got to have a minimum of 1 inch up there from this piece right here. I've got to have a minimum of 1 inch from this rail. So, and also, Here's what I was just telling you. The underside of the rail must be at least 2 inches above the stair tread nose to provide clearance for the footrest. To achieve this 2 inches, clearance, move the rail and bracket forward. Once the clearance is 2 inches, tighten all bracket nuts to hold the bracket in position. Maintain the 2-inch clearance and hold the rail in place. Now, this is where we're going to do things different. They're saying to secure the bottom bracket to the first step from the floor, and see here's if there's an obstruction within 3 inches, 3.9 inches of the top nose, the tall brackets must be used. Now, I think let me look and make sure I'm here. I can try it, but I don't see how it's set on that step. Let's see what happens when I bring this down to this step. Okay. Okay, that's better actually, because that's right on that joint. That will protect that better. All right. We're going to go ahead and slide this over, get it in place, and get some screws in it. And here, let's see where we're at. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and snug these brackets to start with. Looks like I need some sockets. So, I'm thinking I'm already, so I can scoot him over. Okay, I've got to come down, I believe. Can I come down anymore? Oh yeah. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through and walk these. She won't slide by herself, so we got to walk the brackets a little bit, each one, to walk this round rail down. All right, we'll walk that one up a little bit more. Walk this up, maybe. Loosen that back up. Oh heck, that tightened up on me. Handy dandy Gerbers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get the handy dandy Gerbers back in my pocket. Alright, where we at? Ooh. I think I went too far then. Alright. Alright. That's minimum I can go there. So scoot that back. Scoot that back. Oh yeah. See, we got our clearance here now. think I better set the motor on before I slide this thing over though. Let me look. Alright, we're going to put the chassis on before. I know it doesn't say to do this, but I'll show it on my GoPro. I'll come back up here. If you look here, I am just barely going to clear this piece here. So I believe I better slide that chassis motor on here first. Now, being as we've already got these done, I'm going to slide these down. There's little 6-inch slots each. So, a little tape there. Again, the hinted into Gerbers. I might want to, yeah, they're going. I don't think I want to beat on them too much, but it's definitely snug. All right, I'm going to check this. I don't think they should be that tight. I'm going to check and make sure that they're in good. So let's see if these guys go in a little deeper. Ah, yeah. Actually was putting these in the other night and my mom had gone to bed, so that's probably a good thing I checked them. Check the other two while I'm here. Yeah. Got a little bit on them. All right, let's see. Ooh, look at there. See how that slid it? Look, watch. I'll do that again. Boom. All right, slide these down. As you see, there's little 6-inch slots. They say take the top of them off. That way you can guide that chassis on there and then let it sit in against the gear. That's where we're going now. So let's get everything out the way. This chassis is heavy. Do not underestimate it. I think she goes in just like this. All right, so they say to put this manual override hole. This is a manual switch right here. I don't know if you can see me down there. I know you can see me on that camera. Put this on the bottom. So this is going to go in just the way I got him set. All right. Be careful not to trap your fingers between the rail and the chassis. Good idea. Okay. Do not ride on the chassis or lift it or the lift until the installation is complete. Well, duh. Okay, we're going to put this thing on. It looks like they're putting it in from the bottom. But you'd have to take that bottom plate off then. All right, there is a zip tie on this switch. Yeah, don't try to just lift it up. You pull the switch out. You got to cut it. All right. All right. Let's see if we can put this thing on here. Gently slide onto the rail. Okay, here we go. All right. We'll scoot this bad boy over a little bit. We're going to gently, it's kind of hard to gently slide this thing. This thing heavy. Alright, there we go. Let's see. See where I'm at. Oh, I'll see. I'll see, said the bald man to his deaf wife over the disconnected telephone. Telephone. Do not let this thing go. You gotta let her ease down till she sits against those gears, okay? Once you set it against the gears, you can cut the switch on. Alright, you hear that? She beeped. Now there's a black switch right here in this top. This is an install switch. This is so you can power it while you're installing it. Once everything is plugged up to this thing, the remotes and everything, this switch will no longer work. So we move it down far enough to get those gears visible. And I think I'm going to go ahead and move him over, line him up, and get my top bolts in. Alright. Now, need to make sure everything is square from this point on. About 3 3/4. Ooh, yeah, we gotta come on over. Too much. Now, one thing about it, this ain't nothing but paneling. So, I mean, you look at how far that wall's out. I may want to bring this out a little bit. Yeah, I'm good. But you look at look how close it gets down there. You gotta stop. You got a chair stop in here. In the rail. Where was it? I felt it. Oh, here it is, right here. You see this? This is going to be a chair stop. All right. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and slide these in. I think I can. I think I can. Maybe. I don't think it makes any difference, really. Nope. Teeth look like they turn the same way either way you go. Uh-oh. That camera's dead. I really don't know that I need that any further. I think you're going to be just fine. They're trying to say to put the charge rail strip in right now. There's no way you would be able to do that. The cable runs through. Okay, that's why we're doing this now, and I'm doing a video, because I understand that the instructions aren't that well written. And here we are. This is one prime example. If you tried to put these charge strips in now, you would play hell. All right, I got a phone call. Taking a break anyway. All right, I'm going to sit back down here a second. My SD card on my GoPro got full. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to show you what I was talking about the clearance up at the top of the rail. Should have picked the wrench up while I was taking a break. Alright, you see my rail clearance up here? That's what I was adjusting up and down for and making sure that I had that clearance. Now, what did I do with my driver? One other thing you're going to need. You see this piece here? It's basically a extra long driver. So instead of it being one of these, it's extra long. You're gonna need that. Don't attempt it. I mean, you could take and put a couple of these together. I've done it before. Go get you one of these. Like I say, get your tools. If you're gonna do handyman work, if you're gonna do any kind of work around the house, if you want to maintain your own house, buy your tools. Don't be scared. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set this top one in. I'm happy with where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and lock him down. I just hope I can get through the carpet without tearing it all to pieces. Now you noticed I stopped. I don't want to drive it all the way in yet until I get the other ones in. And then we'll bring it all down nice and level. This, by the way, is a 3/8 driver. Apparently my spring load on this thing is not working. There it is. Alright. You need a 3/8 nut driver for this task right here. And you see why I need an extension? I'll show you on the GoPro. Hopefully it ain't dead again. And here we go. Bumping the GoPro into the wall. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cinch them down now. And kind of go corner to corner. Now, we are only putting, for now, the top bracket and the bottom bracket in until everything, make sure that everything is moving the way it's supposed to and clearing the way it's supposed to. That way you're only moving 2 brackets instead of all 4. Those brackets are not that crucial right at this point. We're not going to be setting in it until we mount those down. They're not crucial at this point. Get your top, your bottoms in. I do that every time. Try to reach over that rail. I'll go ahead and stick this nail on back here. Alright, just cinch them down. Alright. Get this out the way. Now when you're setting this rail up and getting it set where you want it, I've still got that 1/2 inch clearance right there. Put your block on the floor. I forgot to mention this, but set your block on the floor like this. Use this chair to set it up against that rail and help hold it in place. And that way it won't slide around on the floor, because it'll just slide right out from, go right back out on the floor down here. So, all right, I need to go get a wrench. All right, let's see what size we are here. I think we're half. Let me make sure. 1/2 inch it is. So we're gonna go ahead and snug these brackets on down right now. We're about ready to set a chair. We ain't too far from finishing this thing out. We got a little bit left, but just hold on tightly. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm tightening it down, but I don't see where this tightens up much. All right, yeah, I see it now. She's butted in the bottom down here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and tighten these. Actually, let's leave these until we put the bolts in them. Let's go ahead and tighten the top ones. Don't get too carried away on these. Just need them good and tight. Don't need to, they look like grade 3 bolts. They don't look like grade 5 or anything like that, so I wouldn't get too very carried away. Get them tight. All right, we're tight. Right here is a stop rail. I'm going to bring it down and show it to you in the big camera. You've got one already in on down the bottom here, but you got a little rail here. You're going to slide it down in there. You got a set screw. You got a little Allen wrench in there. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide it down in there, and this, we're not going to tighten it down right now. We're going to snug it. We're going to have it there to make our final move. Let me slide him in while I got him in my hand. You can slide it in either rail, right or left, I believe. Since it's already in this rail down there, I'm going to slide it in the same rail. Get a battery. There we go. All right. So just slid that down in, just slide it down in this little slot. I wouldn't even put the Allen wrench on it right now. We're getting ready to put this cover on. Make sure when you put this cover on that those wires are not pinched. See this little slot right here? Make sure these wires get in that slot if possible. You slide it down on there, line it up, and slide it down on there. There you go. All right. One thing about these screws, do not put them, you can put them in with a drill if you're very, 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 very careful. I'm going to put them in with a screwdriver. They are little self-tappers. Got a little cut in on the ends of them. Go right in these holes. They're going to go down in that little rail, little slot. I made sure enough to go get the screwdriver and get them started good. Yeah, let me get the driver. They will strip out fairly easy, so just be careful. All right, I'm going to get the driver and get them started, and then I'll snug them on down with my screwdriver. All right, I got a number 3 Phillips in here. Let's see what that looks like. They look like number 3 Phillips. Actually, they are not number 3 Phillips. You actually have a driver in here for them. They're Torx. So let's see if we can get them started here. Well, okay, maybe it takes more than I thought they took to get him in here. He talked like he was going to strip real easy. All right, let me get this one down a little more. I don't like the way that thing looks. I think it's off. Okay. These little, it's got little notches in it. That feels better. Let's see if that see if it'll go back in there. Yeah, if I can get it lined back up. Oh, that's much better. Here we go. I didn't have it quite lined up. I think my battery dead. I need a battery. Here we go. Oh, hey, much better. All right, plates on. Wires are free. I probably could have stuffed that wire because I really don't need it. To be honest, I don't think. I'm almost certain I don't need that wire. Huh. We'll stuff it down in there. Now that I think about it, I don't need this pigtail that's sticking out up here. I shouldn't need it at all. All right. All right. This going in there. And then we're going to put the cap back on. There she is. Snap in. Tight. Right. I think that's an Allen. It is the Allen again. All right. You know what? I just noticed I have a certain amount of space down here. So I'm going to move all of these down. I am going to go ahead and cut a piece to put in that top then. I would feel better about it. And that slid on down with the motor. There you go. All right, we're going to take this back out again. All right, took his plate back off. They send extra of these gears with it. A couple of extra actually. Be careful of your wires. Don't hit your wires here. Actually, that might be better. Oh, here we go. She's cutting it pretty quick. I was going to say, take it out and cut it off, but take it out and cut it off. I can get a good stroke on it. All right, when you put this back in, tells you in the book, put your rough cut, put your factory piece down, piece you just cut off, put to the top. You know, I was sitting here wondering, since I had some slack in this track, what held the track tight and, you know, kept it from walking from end to end whenever you used it. Well, I think I just figured out that that's what these two screws are for. Snug them down there. That's good. That's good. And that's good. All right. And I need to try to get this where I can get that nut back up in there. Nut keeps wanting to drop. Alright, the nut has dropped down a little bit. I'm take a screwdriver, see if I can slip it in there and push it back up. Handy dandy little screwdrivers. This is the Harbor Freight. Not the best, but handy just the same. Don't put a lot of pressure on it, you'll be alright. You know what I think is happening? Alright, I'm going to loosen. I ain't taking it all the way out. I'm just going to loosen. I think I know what's happening now. Alright. So now I don't want to set up. I'm going to be done dropped it in the rail. You watch. You watch what I tell you now. I'm going to drop it in the rail. I keep on farting around. Alright, what happened there? You see here, the nut actually went under that frame. That's why I couldn't get it back in. I realized it just a minute ago. Oh, wrong way. OJ. Tight. Okay, for the fourth time, this cap is tight again. For the fourth time. That's why I say, let me make mistakes. Let me show you my mistakes. Alright. What we got next? Footrest and seat installation. So we're getting up to the footrest. We're getting there. We got a couple more pages here. 20 or 30. No, I ain't got no 20 or 30. We got maybe another 6 or 7 pages, but hey, make sure your switch is off on the top. Let me get into this box here. I hadn't unpacked this box yet. Alright. I was supposed to, once I put this thing in, loosen these 4 bolts and level them. Luckily, they look pretty darn level. So, we're going to put the footrest on it, and we're going to find out. This has slots on the back. You loosen your 2 set screws up, and you just slide him down. Let me put this. I think this one goes here. Yeah, it goes here. Okay. So let's see here. I'll take the cover off. I do not have enough. Hold on. Don't plug that up yet. Ugh. Now, okay. All right. Now, I haven't read this part. I got to go over this. Uh, you make an adjustment here for the specific height of the person. Um, let me read. Let me read a minute. All right, so I need to tighten it. We'll go ahead and tighten this down now. All right, I don't understand this adjustment procedure. All right, let me just go. I'm gonna go check. Yes, yeah. When you sit down and you rock it forward, can you put your feet on the floor? 18 and a half is fine. All right, here we go. All right. All right, I'm going to sit down here. I'm going to explain what I just did, what I just figured out. Behind this door, you have height adjustments. I just went in and measured Mom's recliner. I asked her if she can reach the floor with her legs when she sits on the edge of a recliner. It's approximately 18 inches from the edge of that seat to the floor. This came factory set at 18 inches. Apparently that's a common number, so that's where they went. If you had to adjust it, you would adjust it with these 4 bolts here, and you would line the screw holes with these particular numbers that's here. You have 16 and a half, 18, 19 and a half, and 21. I'm going to leave it at 18 for now. If I have to adjust it, I'll come back and adjust it, I think. All right, so now we've done that. Next thing, voila, a swivel post. Ain't that cute? All right, so we got this. Yeah. Again, more Allen screws. So, good place for that. All right, we're going to dump all of this stuff out right here, especially since I have carpet. It should very well stay there. If this was a regular wooden step, I'm not so sure that I would do that. Once you install these, it says, again, another little thing in the bag. It says, important, adjust seat height position before inserting the white nylon plugs into the plastic covers. You're going to eventually insert these plugs in here. They are a pain in the butt to get out. If you do have to pull them out, normally you can go to an automotive location and get them. They're probably going to be black, but yes, you can go to an automotive, Advance Auto, AutoZone, anything like that, and get these. The best way to pull them out is a actual fender tool or door panel tool off of an automobile. You use this little panel. It's a clip panel tool, and you get under there and you just spring it out. So I forgot to tell you, get you a big trash bag. So let's see here. I took that out and set back down here, and now I need it again. Ah, voila. Probably tells you in the instructions. There's a slot right here. All right. I do believe it goes on this side. I hadn't even read that yet either yet. So let me read. Let me read here a minute. Closest to the top of the stairs. Okay. Tighten the 2 bolts. Well, that says a 5/32 Allen. Yep. All right, I'm going to need a ratchet for that other side. So again, I'm going to hit my daughter's tools up. All right, they're tight. Now, mother, what you got to give it to your father. There we are. Okay, I don't think it's still. All the way down. Now she's all the way down. There we go. Now we're right. Now we're right. All right, I had to press the crap out of that to get it to slide around, but we're right now. I hope this thing is sturdier than that once I get the other rails in, but so you got 2 plugs that goes here, one on this side, one on the other. You got these two plugs that goes here. Alright, you got one here. Yeah, you're supposed to get that one in. I may have it too close, Mom. I might have to move it. I don't know if it adjusts or not. Nope. It does not adjust, so uh-oh. I am going to have to move it. Ain't no big deal. Okay. My mistakes, your fixes. Remember I mentioned earlier that I got to account for this? Guess what I forgot to do? Okay, so what that means, that's why we only put the top bracket and the bottom bracket in to start with. We're going to take the screws back out, slide it over. I'm going to bring the chair down to where it gets to right here, and I'm going to make sure I got my clearance, and then I'm going to bolt it back down. Probably could have done that to start with, actually. I'm going to finish tightening these brackets a little better. Snug these brackets down pretty good. I didn't have the brackets that tight. Tight enough, actually. All right, and there is a plug under the seat. Oh, the one I got my hand on right now. That we're going to plug up. I've already plugged this plug up. Okay, we're going to plug this one up. All right. And put our handy dandy Gerbers away. Right now, I am actually hitting the wall. This is approximately another inch or so, 3/4 of an inch from that wall. So I know I've got to come out at least 3/4 of an inch. I would come out about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches myself. And they give you an extra one of these little guys. So put that in that little box with the rest of the extra parts. All right, ladies and germs, this is what we're going to do. We're getting ready to pull everything back up real quick. Be very, very careful, very cautious, because this will teeter on you now. Let me see here. Alright, you hear it, it's already hitting, so we're going to cut this off. Hey, Mom. I'll go get him. Okay, being as I do have to move this, I'm going to have my brother-in-law come in and stand there and just hold that chair steady. I will eventually, but right now I need to get the other two screws out here. Yeah, it should set. Just steady it. All right. Go to the top of the rail. Go up to the top rail. And let's scoot it out, Brian. I'm just going to just scoot it out away from the wall. All right. I move it a little bit more, Brian. All right, hold on. All right. Well, because I've got this offset either way, I've got a 3/4 inch or 1.5 inch offset. Yeah. Am I clear? That's about what I want. Let's bring it over. Let's bring it over another 1/2 inch. And well, just hold tight. Let me show me that tape. Let me measure off this bottom wall, and we'll see if we square up the wall. So I'm about 5 1/4 right there. About 5.5. And of course you can't really go off of this freaking, you know how these walls are. I'm about 5.5 right there too. Well, all right. Just hold tight and let me run her back up and see what she does. I'm kind of pushing back on the chair a little bit like you'd be sitting in it. I think we're good right there. What do you think? That's what it's going to do. I think I'm going to screw them all down this time. Well, I hadn't tightened the back down yet. Told you I hadn't tightened the back down yet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I had. So you want to run those down on the top? It will be golden, I believe. Like I say, my mistakes. Don't do them. Yeah, well, gotta get about an inch. All right. That'll work. Thank you, sir. I did. Kick me that bag right there. Gracias, sir. I'm standing on freaking. All right, we're gonna buckle everything down now. We've double checked, made sure clearance. Oh, I think the battery's low on the thing. Needs to charge for a while. We'll take care of that in just a few minutes. All right, remember we got to tighten these brackets down too. All right, wrench these down. This would be a whole lot quicker with a 1/2 inch deep socket. I don't have one handy, so wrench it is. All right, that's good and tight. How's this? All that, oh heck yeah. How does it feel like that's... You know what? You know, I want to double check those bolts right there. Again, don't make the same mistakes I made. Instructions said to double check, make sure everything was tight before you put those clips in. I didn't. And it wasn't. I was wondering why I had play. All right, let's check that. Oh, much better. I said much better. All right. Okay, I went ahead and moved it all the way to the top and adjusted it, and I think we're good. Let's put the power in, and they say that you need a 15 amp dedicated plug. The only plug I've got that's nearby is right here behind this wall. It's used for the iron, but I don't think you're going to need 15 amps. Okay. It outputs 24 volts at 2 amps. So it probably uses somewhere around an amp, if not even an amp, about a half an amp. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to route this right through this wall right here. And then I will secure it to the back side of that wall. And we'll get this thing charging, and then we'll send it to the bottom to charge. Like I say, need a trash bag. Okay, being as this is just a panel wall, this is all I'm going to use. Need about a 1/2 inch hole. We'll use this metal one here. I don't like a wire brushing the wall. I'll do something about that. Why is that thing jumping like that? I see. They're not shoved down far enough now. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I probably need to take the Allen and tighten it down a little bit. Now see what you do.
Oh my goodness. I haven't been down here in weeks.
It'll stop you. It'll slow you down and stop you. Just hold it until it stops.
Oh, it gets down here where I get off on the.
Just hold it till it stops.
It stopped.
All right? And then you can take your seatbelt off.
Oh, that's right.
Hello everybody, I'm back in Mom's basement. My GoPro that I was wearing apparently died. Before I had a couple of important things I wanted to show you. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to show you the couple of shots that I really feel like you need to know. I was explaining how the power transformer was hooked up and everything. I'll show you what I did with that and hooking up the transformer there. And I'll double check. There might be some adjustment on the top stop that I need to show you. I don't know. If it is, lighting is atrocious there. I did not bring any lights today. So I'll see what I can do and we'll get back with you here in just a moment. Okay, I'm not so sure. Yeah, it looks like you can see this okay. It's atrocious lighting. But all I did on this stop here, this little bar slides in here. You have to install this bar. You just slide it back up to the top and run this Allen set screw down. It comes with an Allen wrench. So we got that. Let's go back down here to the bottom. Just for information, I suggest to Mom to store the chair at the bottom of the steps. When it's up top, it is very tight to get down. As you can see, it's a very narrow stairway anyway. They do not suggest this for any less than 32 inches, and I believe this one is a 32, maybe a 34-inch stairway. So I'm going to run this back up a little bit. Okay, and all this is just little thin wall paneling. If you look there, you can see I just took a step bit and drilled a hole. And I just tacked down a little clamp there, and this is where you connect your battery connection to your charger. Now on the back side of this wall, again, atrocious lighting. Mop. Alright, if you look here, all I did, I know it's just jury rigged, it's a holding. It's probably the way I'm going to leave it too. You can see I drilled through the panel, come up the wall with the power cord. This is the transformer here. I just tie wrapped it into the 2x4, run the power cord right down here. This was the closest receptacle, and like I say, this normally has a iron hook to it, but like I was saying, I don't think this power supply is going to take more than 1 amp of power, so I don't think it'll be a problem at any point. And oh, look, there's the remote. I stored the remote up in here, told Mom that's a good place as any for it. So so there you have it. Yeah, and Mom has thoroughly enjoyed it so far. I'll let it back down, and if you notice, when it comes to the bottom, boom, comes to a slow stop and then stops. So alright, so there you have it. I appreciate you watching. I know it's a long video. I've just about got it edited out, and it's a long video, and I know I talk a lot. But I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you pay attention to the mistakes I made. This was my first install. If you're installing it, I would say it's probably your first install if you're watching this video. So it is fairly simple. Pay attention to my mistakes. Remember my mistakes. Make sure that you clarify and take pointers on that. I made the mistake of not putting the cable into the end cap. Made the mistake of forgetting my offset on my wall, and I had to move the rail back over. Also, I initially did not put all the tracks in, and I noticed the chair was skipping, so you have to put all the tracks in all the way and cut the track off at the end, and then you got the screws to tighten the track up in the end caps. Put the stands on before you put the rail together. That way you don't have to slide the stands all the way down the rail. That's not a big thing, but I'm trying to make it where it's quicker for you and easier for you to install this. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, check the like button. Hit me up again. If you need anything, got any questions, send me a message. I normally can respond on YouTube within a day or so. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.